Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
And welcome back to Inside the Force. David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the next thrilling chapter of this Star Wars-filled podcast. This is episode 67. And we got a lot to get to.
Yes.
A lot of news this past week leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, which... not too much episode 7 news, but a lot of Rebel stuff coming out here pre Comic-Con. So what we're going to do is obviously dive into the latest Star Wars news from the movies, from the TV shows, comics, games, books, whatever's out there this past week. Kind of give you our thoughts on the latest rumors that are floating around along as far as
floating
the plot.
in space. Maybe? Yeah. You know.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Wow, yeah, we got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive right in
All right.
and check it out. What's going on in the movie news here?
All right, well, let's just start off with some small news, I suppose. There's been several big things as opposed to plot rumors and just character rumors. And let's just do the plot rumor. Let's just start with the big thing. There's a possible rumor going around that's pretty... it's just generally, I guess, the general outline of it. Basically, I'll just read basically what the quote is. I'll kind of summarize the quote. It starts off normal like Star Wars. You see the crawl, and then it pans, how it normally pans to like a plant outside of a planet or a ship floating in space. This pans to just the stars, and you see a hand float into frame. It's a severed hand, presumably human, and it's tumbling through space, and it's gripping a lightsaber. Now the hand apparently falls through the atmosphere of some desert planet. Doesn't necessarily mean Tatooine, but some desert planet. Lands on this planet, and the Daisy Ridley and John Boyega character find this hand, and then it's basically the movie. It's like kind of the MacGuffin that kind of sets the movie in motion, and throughout the whole movie, they think it's they obviously know it's a lightsaber, it's a Jedi, all that stuff. So they're basically trying to find out where this belongs to and the source of it, and it kind of leads. Ultimately, it's like leading them to find Han Solo. Then they're trying to find Luke Skywalker, because apparently Luke Skywalker has been missing like since episode 6. And that's generally the outline, but it's got a lot more details, like saying how like Han Solo and Chewbacca, they're not flying the Millennium Falcon, they're piloting something else. They see the lightsaber as Luke's, and they're the ones who tell the two young characters to go off and find Luke Skywalker. And that's pretty much it. And then they come across, they go through the whole entire solar system basically, and they find this ice planet. And it doesn't say Hoth, but just says ice planet, where they find these evil forces, presumably the Empire, maybe, and they're building some big secret super weapon. Not that something that won't destroy a planet, but will destroy an entire solar system. And that's basically the broad outline of what episode 7 might be. It's a rumor. Thoughts. Go ahead before I get into my thoughts. Yeah.
Well, first off, obviously this is rumored. This is nothing.
Yeah.
That's going to be confirmed or whatnot. But anyway, a couple things. One, I mean, to me, it starts off okay.
Yeah.
My first impression is that when I read, okay, it's a hand with a lightsaber, I immediately thought, oh, well, that's from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Like Luke's hand that got chopped off.
Correct.
And it's just been floating
Because
around.
obviously that could possibly be floating around somewhere.
Possibly.
I mean, maybe.
Stretching
but it never wasn't in
some physics
space.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but even a hand landing on a planet is impossible.
Yeah, I guess unless it's like Luke's robotic hand and the metal is like...
Oh, well, that's true.
Metal's like...
I didn't think about that.
I don't know. I mean, that's... I don't know. It still seems far-fetched, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, making it through the atmosphere without burning up, basically. And the lightsaber itself, making it through the atmosphere without burning up, you know.
That's true.
You know, but it's Star Wars, you know. They can write it
yeah,
off.
I don't... I mean, I can buy maybe them just finding a lightsaber in the sand.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somehow maybe it got dropped there or something.
Mm-hmm.
But now, and I'm a little confused about Luke being missing for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, what? Did no one ever go look for him then?
Yeah.
Or they just kind of like let him go, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, the only thing I could think of is, what if after, you know, the big galactic war, civil war ended, there's balance of the Force, or so Luke thought, and so he felt he wasn't needed, maybe. So he just went off into exile. I don't know.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing too. So that means there's no Jedi Academy going on.
Yeah,
no training going on.
It's basically, yeah, it's kind of what it's alluding to.
It's
I
a
guess.
little far fetched, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them pulling off something like that where we'll be surprised and there won't be as much Jedi. But I mean, I agree. Maybe Luke's been missing for the last few years, but
That's what I'm thinking.
the last 30 years, that's kind of ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, no one's seen him since episode 6. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a lot to catch up on.
I know, and I think, you know, and now that he has a newly found sister, you
Yeah.
know, she's not gonna rest until he's found. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's she doing for 30 years? Just waiting?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just found out you're my sister literally hours before we defeated the Empire.
Right.
And you left. We need to talk about a lot. We have to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Like, is Darth Vader really my father?
Yeah.
Because I'm having a hard time, you know, swallowing this.
Right.
I just think that, you know, I think that maybe you're right. Maybe just for the last year or two, you know, like Luke had to go on a mission, a Jedi mission, and he went missing, and that's when he, you know, got his hand cut off, and somehow
Yeah. Again, I guess.
I guess again, right? You know, it's like, oh, come on, man, you need to learn the lesson the first time.
Yeah.
But then that means there's someone out there yielding a lightsaber, I guess. Then, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
or something maybe chopped up with a sword, or I don't know. But it seems like just a blown
it seems
up
like somebody's
version.
just piecing together some random information trying to make a plot.
Yeah, and it seems like a blown up version of Episode 4. To be honest, like
That is very
it
true.
has a very similar plot structure, which is fine. You can mirror, because it's a very common plot structure. You know, two characters going on a journey across space to find something, whatever. But you know, finding a big super weapon, like what can we do better than a Death Star? Oh, a Death Star that blows up an entire solar system. There you go.
That's true.
You know, that seems very weak storytelling, but this is a rumor. That's why I don't really buy it, because it's such a cop out sounding plot, and it kind of alludes to, you know, Daisy Ridley not being Han's daughter. Honestly, that's how I'm reading it.
It does, unless she like just left, you know, is on her own.
And she's like goes,
Which is
to her
possible.
dad, and goes to her dad and be like, hey, yeah, I know you've talked about this, or you know, you've talked about lightsabers before. What do you make of it, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean,
That would make sense.
yeah. And
You know, like Boyega, you know, and Boyega's rumored to be a former stormtrooper.
that I also have problem believing, honestly, just because he's so short.
Yeah, I have more of an easier belief of feeling like he was just like an officer or something like that.
Or some form of Imperial. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
like
I have
engineer or
information on
something.
that. We'll get to that. But this also
But
kind
that
of,
would make sense. That would make sense if they found something
Yeah.
and then she's like, Well, my dad, he fought in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go talk to him, and
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah. And this is kind
So,
of...
what were you going to say?
Well, I've been reading, some people are saying, like, oh, this confirms a lot of rumors that I've been hearing kind of stuff. And apparently there was always rumors going around of Oscar Isaac's role in the movie, saying how, and some people say that he's actually Han's son, who, whether or not he's Han's son or not, I don't know, but they're saying that he's basically the one who's piloting the Millennium Falcon now, and Han and Chewbacca are flying some other ship. And that, it's a tiny little rumor that, again, I don't want to get caught up if it's bull crap or it's true, but I have problems with that, but whatever. But they're just saying that basically this big plot rumor is further confirmed based off past rumors that people have been hearing about, kind of stuff. And it's, like you said, it's probably something, somebody just piecing together a lot of rumors. Mm-hmm. But it's caught on so fast and by so many sources that actually report reputable stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I don't believe all of it. I can believe some of it. I mean, I much rather believe, like you said, some of these other character rumors that we've been hearing, like John Boyega as not maybe a stormtrooper, but as a former Imperial. And the thing is, with that even, it seems like people are getting mixed up because, for a while people have been saying that there's a big connection between Rebels and Episode 7. And now they're saying that this is the connection where it's been newly revealed. I mean, we're kind of crossing over to Rebels a little bit, but in Rebels, there's this new character that people found in the visual guide of Rebels. That there's this new character, this dark-skinned character who's a former Imperial stormtrooper. It looks like a kid, honestly. And I'll find his name. But basically, this character in Rebels stopped, like he left the Empire, he left being a stormtrooper, and now he's a spy for the Rebels, kind of giving information to the Rebels about the Empire kind of stuff and being a spy that way. And people are saying how, this could be an ancestor to, John Boyega's character.
Oh.
But they're even saying like where John Boyega himself is a stormtrooper turned good guy in Episode 7. And I'm thinking like, well, why in the world, if that's true, why would they copy the exact same character from Rebels and put him in Episode 7? It seems like they're all wrong, and they're just getting confused that they think basically this character description for John Boyega is actually the character that is proven to be in Rebels. But I do think that John Boyega, as I have always thought, John Boyega might be a character who was bad turned good kind of thing. Just going back to his placement in that table reading, right? He was really close to the kind of the villainous. We thought the villainous side of the reading table,
right?
So I don't know, but there's that character rumor for John Boyega and Gwendolyn Christie, who is long thought to be another villain. The character outlined for her is rumored to be that she's also an Imperial officer. And some people have even said that she has been a stormtrooper, which I 100% disagree with. That there are no female stormtroopers. But female Imperial officers I can go for.
Yeah.
But they're saying that she was some Imperial character, and maybe even John Boyega's superior, who's now on the hunt for John Boyega's character because he abandoned the Empire and is now on the run. But all of this is going to say that it seems like the Empire might have a huge presence in Episode 7.
Yeah, it sounds like they're still around a lot.
It sounds like, because everybody's talking about stormtroopers. I'm curious, because I can understand there might be pockets of Empire, of the Imperial Navy or whatever around. We've talked about that there might be some remnants around. But like a working infrastructure of the Empire around the galaxy, it's very interesting. And I mean, they would have to write it well, I think. But I mean, I guess it's kind of easy to write in. The Empire's always been around, but in a believable way, I don't know. And then that's interesting because they've also said that this character that Gwendolyn Christie is going to play, that this is possibly the one that Benedict Cumberbatch was rumored to play.
Yeah.
And he passed, and so they gave it to Gwendolyn Christie, which that's probably true. Sure. Well, I mean, that's not get hung up on, but and there's that. There's all those character rumors, and then the last little piece of news is there's rumored basically a newest addition to the cast, another female character actress named Christina Chong, who's that's all it is. She's just been rumored to play a role. So doesn't necessarily mean a big or small role, but it's just a rumor. But and that's pretty much all the production wise. As there's a video that you can get into about J.J. Abrams, but that's all like that's all the news regarding plot and characters and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and the video you're referring to is a new Force for Change.
Yeah,
the Star Wars charity movement on omaze.com, where you can donate. It's a very interesting concept that Omaze has basically developed, and it's basically, if you really kind of think about it, it's almost like Kickstarter, but it's not really for funding a project. It's really for charity,
right? And
you basically put rewards up there, and you have your goal for your charitable donation, or you run it as a contest. Which is I've entered in a couple of them. I've done one where, no, I think that wasn't Omaze. I think it was. I did something for DC Comics.
Oh, was it the Hero?
Well, that was an Indiegogo thing, I think. But the DC one had they had all these different rewards, and they had a drawing for somebody to go to visit DC headquarters, as well as it was linked to Lucasfilm, because you could go to Skywalker Ranch and meet George Lucas as well.
Cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that, and then this thing came up where omaze.com / I think it's / Force for Change. They have contests going on now where you can win a role in episode 7, as well as lunch with J.J. Abrams and tour of the studios in Pinewood. So the way it works is that you don't, for when you donate something anywhere between $5,000 to I think $5,000, it's just not one entry. You basically get a certain amount of entries per donation level. I think I did the $100 one, and I got 10 entries into the drawing. So
there you
go. But they've extended it. That's what the video was for.
Right.
JJ released a video where he's standing in front of. It's very similar to the last video they did, where there's something in the background that they're revealing. Like the other one was that animatronic,
that weird creature thing.
Yes, whatever it was. And then this one was a modified X-wing.
Yeah.
An up-to-date version, I guess.
Well,
because we haven't seen this type.
Well, it's very interesting because it looks exactly like the old Ralph McQuarrie concept art of X-Wings.
Oh, nice.
Like, it's very, very pretty much identical. Some people thought it was actually a Z95 Headhunter, but it's pretty much 100% identical to this early concept art. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a.
Well, I think and I think the Headhunters are early concepts of X-Wings.
Oh, pretty much. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. So it actually does look like almost like a head, but it could be ones that came out, like newer ones that came out after.
Because you see a Rebel,
or like you said, we may see them. We may see them in Rebels as being maybe the first generation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it does look older. It looks worn.
Yeah. It's awesome.
But it was pretty awesome. And then they had the little
mouse
droid.
Yeah, little mouse droid.
Mouse droid.
Wait, who let that in? Where that? Yeah, he's. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to see. JJ obviously is. I mean, again, that's part of the charity thing, but he's still teasing us here and there with the latest footage.
Yeah.
So really, really cool to see. You can check that out on StarWars.com as well. So moving on to Rebels stuff. Lots of Rebels stuff.
Yeah.
And the first thing before we get to what came out just yesterday, one of the first news that broke last week after our show recorded was new confirmed characters in Star Wars Rebels. And it all comes from an article that came out about the Star Wars Rebels visual guide.
Yeah.
That's coming out. And I don't know, it's an alien guy, the first
the green character.
Yeah, the green character, the horn guy.
Yeah,
his name's Cicatro Vizago.
Yeah.
Cicatro Vizago. So I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
I think it's
really tell.
bad guy. I think it's kind of like a Hondo Onaka character from Clone Wars.
I see.
I think it's like just like kind of like a mercenary. I think. Pretty sure. But yeah, he's kind of like a bad guy, pretty much.
But there are some definitely notables, familiar faces that are definitely confirmed. We knew C-3PO and R2-D2 would be in it.
Yeah.
And then we have confirmation now that Senator Bail Organa will be in the show, which definitely makes sense as being one of the founding members of the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two Imperials from the Imperial Academy. There is Commandant Oresco and Taskmaster Grint. So those are two Imperials that'll be on the show as well. And there's also two Wookiees that are talking about being on here.
Okay. Cool.
Two new Wookiees. No names, but yeah. Wookiees. Wookie. Yeah. I'm such a Wookiee.
Nerd.
We kind of, I think this was, I guess it may be just rumored, but is now confirmed that Jason Isaacs is voicing the Inquisitor.
Yeah, because they released a video basically about the Inquisitor. StarWars.com did, and it's a very cool video. We tweeted it out, and it's also on StarWars.com. Yeah. It's just a short little preview of the Inquisitor. Very nice. Very cool.
Very cool. Then, of course, the big news, the extended trailer for Rebels came out the other day, right before Comic-Con, which will have a bunch of panels where you can meet some of the cast members and listen to them. What'd you think of the extended trailer?
Oh, gosh, it got me so pumped. It just felt so epic and cinematic. It felt more than just a TV show. It felt like a movie. It was.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, I'm glad I got to see a lot more because, more of Ezra, kind of like noticing how strong he's in the Force, and I didn't know exactly what he'd be doing, but he's doing it looks like some big stuff. Like he's really showing his Force capabilities in this episode or in the show, and it looks amazing. And it's just, I don't know. It just can't get over how much it looks and feels like the original Star Wars. And we talk about that all the time, but it's just a thing you can't get out of your head when you're watching any clip or trailer of the show.
Right. And the big thing is I don't remember, but when we would go to celebrations and see they would release trailers or clips for the Clone Wars season coming out or the trailers for those. I don't remember them having a lot of the original Star Wars music in them.
Do
you remember that?
I don't remember that they did or did not, but I would guess that they didn't. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, because the opening of Clone Wars is always its own. It has its own theme.
Yeah, it sounds like Star Wars, but it's its own thing.
Yes, but this trailer had the original John Williams music in the front,
right,
and then it had Duel of the Fates, in the back end, and it's like, and it does make you feel more like the movies, than a television show. I completely agree with you. I think Filoni and as well as probably Abrams, with Episode 7, I think they're really trying to just make you remember the old trilogy, and build on that and get because I think I don't know. Do you feel like that Lucasfilm, and I don't know if it's just George or maybe it's Lucasfilm in general, but do you feel like maybe they think they lost the generation because of the prequels? You know what I'm saying?
Lost which
my generation that loved that fell in love with the originals,
right?
Got so disappointed with the prequels, that maybe they're trying to bring that group back. Almost.
I mean, I would say it's definitely more adult. Kind of going away from Star Wars, kind of going into Arrow. How we always talk about the CW show Arrow. The darkness and the tone of that is very much like how Smallville was ending. Like it got much darker. Rebels seems like it's very dark, and it's matching the tone how Clone Wars ended. Because Clone Wars got progressively darker, more adult, more mature. I think Rebels is definitely picking up as a very mature adult show, and I think they're still trying to reach their main demographic of like 10 to 14-year-olds or whatever, or 18-year-olds. But I definitely feel the appeal is to not only the kids, but definitely an older generation. But I think they're trying to keep it towards a younger crowd. But I think the older guys.
Yeah, but do you think the way they're doing it by trying to connect it with the original trilogy, trying to bring back that music, make you remember that music. It just feels like, okay, the guy that hates those group of people that hated the prequels. Well, these aren't the prequels. These are more like the old trilogy.
I definitely think that, and it just seems sad that because there was rumors that ridiculous rumors saying that how they're gonna recontinuity and forget the whole prequels ever happened or whatever kind of crap, but it does seem like that they're kind of they're re-emphasizing the originals and de-emphasizing the prequels, and everything is like, because of course episode 7 is after episode 6, so it's with those characters from episode 6, and that's amazing. But they definitely seem to be taking a step more towards the originals, unless. And it's hard to say because we haven't seen anything, but it seems like they're focusing more on matching to the original tone than maybe blending the two trilogies together. I don't know. But I definitely think that they're reaching out towards, I guess, the original trilogy fans as opposed to prequel trilogy fans.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Because if we see someone, and it'd be kind of cool if we saw someone in episode 7, some kind of character or a reference to something that happened in the prequel trilogy, that will be just, I would be totally satisfied with just some sort of reference. Maybe if it's just Coruscant or some senator or,
You mean in episode 7 or in Rebels?
Episode 7. Because Rebels already know. Rebels, we already have Bail Organa. And, and all that, but episode 7, I would love. I want
and Obi-Wan too.
Yes, kind of younger Obi-Wan and James Arnold Taylor, who was in that trailer, so that's confirmed. Yeah,
correct.
Which is awesome. But
I mean, I got to think episode 7 is got to talk about. Well, I mean, you definitely talk about the Sith, and you wonder if. I mean, who can they mention besides maybe Padme, I guess, but
or
because Obi-Wan is in the original, Yoda's in the originals, obviously Vader or Anakin. I mean,
that's why it'd be cool just to see some of the same scenery, like Naboo or Coruscant or something like that. But it'd be cool maybe if they somehow came across an old holocron or video recording or something like that of Anakin, and we see Hayden Christensen again, and it could literally be something from the prequel trilogy. I don't know. That would be kind of cool, just to see some continuity there. Because I mean,
see now, remember we brought this up, I think a long time ago, but the possibilities of could we see Hayden Christensen as a Force ghost?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I think that would be awesome.
That would be. I would be for that. Yes.
I would totally be for that because yes, then you're doing what you're doing. You're connecting the original 2 trilogies together, as well as with this trilogy.
Yeah.
And why not? I mean, he redeemed himself. He showed up in front of Luke. At the end of episode 6, so it only makes sense that he's in contact with him still.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know the movie canon. The true Star Wars canon. I don't know their rules on Force ghosts because the books, the expanded universe, there was like a certain thing. I think like the Obi-Wan Force ghost actually passed on a little while into like the true afterlife, where he was no longer a Force ghost, like he went even further beyond, kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, but that was before. That was before, obviously the Yoda Clone Wars story arc with the Qui-Gon Jinn. The kind of thing with he was trying to find the path to the, what do they call it, the living Force. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a great thing is that it's open now to have Force ghosts remain forever. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, so Rebel-wise, that's I think that was the last really big thing was the trailer that just came out yesterday.
And it told us that we're getting it in October, getting the show.
Yeah, actually, you're right. A release month, not a release date.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that. Maybe we might even get it this week. They might announce it
that'd be cool.
at Comic-Con.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess other TV show news would be Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special coming this Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I mean, I saw some images of it. It looks pretty funny. I love that show. It looks good.
Phineas and Ferb is actually a really good show. It's hard to not stop watching it. It is a very good show. Yeah. What is this? Anyway, okay. So comic wise, real quick. This past Wednesday, got the number 3 issue of Darth Maul, son of Dathomir.
Okay.
Which is a straight comic book straight from the scripts of season 6 of the Clone Wars, the last arc that Darth Maul was supposed to be in during that season. It didn't make it to screen, obviously, so we got it in comic book form, which is a canon comic. It is a part of the Star Wars canon.
Right.
And it's only 4 issues. This 3rd one came out this past week, and it is it's been a great series. I would have loved to see this on screen. It's so in depth on Maul and fight. I mean, he's doing what he kind of started with in season 5. Was he's just trying to fight both the Separatists and the Republic. Right. He's trying to just beat all of them, and he gains favor into Black Sun with the Mandalorians, with the Pikes, and so he's got this whole army of people behind him. Him and his brother Savage Opress.
Right.
Actually, no. Savage is dead.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He's dead.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He's dead.
He's dead now. That was part of the season 5 thing. So now, and this obviously started off with him being captured by Sidious.
Right.
But the first issue he gets out, and then he's right. And this one is mainly about how Obi-Wan and Mace find out that he's on Ord Mantell, and they head that way, and at the same time Dooku and Grievous show up there right before the Jedi, and they engage in a battle with Maul, and Maul takes both Grievous and Dooku prisoner.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's so good. It's really, really good. I highly suggest. I mean, so next month in August will be the final issue of this one, and actually in August is the final issues of the Dark Horse series run with Star Wars comics. So you've got Legacy that's coming to an end. You've got this Son of Dathomir coming to an end. You've got Star Wars, the comic just called Star Wars. That's coming to an end with issue 20 next month. There's a series called Rebel. There's a series called Star Wars Rebel Heist that's coming to an end. So they're all coming to an end. Hopefully this weekend we'll get news and confirmation on what Star Wars series of books that are going to be starting in September from Marvel, and which are supposed to be considered the first canon comic books on the Marvel side. So, so basically, I think the only the only Dark Horse, canon comic series that we're going to get is this Son of Dathomir series. Okay. So, because I think right now, I think, Case, we've said on here, so that comic and the article that's in the Star Wars Insider are the only canon literature we have so right far. Now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, you haven't read. I won't give it too much away because you haven't read it yet, but I'll let you read that. I was kind of glancing over this. This is interesting. I found this. Have you read this article on the Star Wars survey?
Nope.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
What you got?
Well, it's just a little survey, I guess, a modern survey of, I guess, about just overall Star Wars and some of the findings. Looks like they surveyed. Oh, wait, what? No, I thought this was supposed to be like 1138, but it's 11. They've surveyed 1,186 people.
Yeah,
and here's some of the results. 79% of respondents said they had watched at least one Star Wars film.
Okay.
85% of men have seen at least one film compared to 72% of women. Of those who have seen at least one film, 72% of men called themselves a fan compared to 60% of women. The most widely seen film is, what do you think?
Ooh. Let's see. I mean, I guess it depends on the ages of those who've been surveyed, I would say.
The most
episode 5, I guess,
is The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Yeah.
91% of the 835 respondents who answered this question said they had seen episode 5. Interestingly, 80% said they had seen The Phantom Menace compared to only 73% for A New Hope.
That's what I was thinking. First, some prequels rather than the originals.
Right. According to the respondents who had seen all 6 films, the best one is...
Episode 5?
Episode 5.
Of course, there you go.
Empire Strikes Back. 33% picked that film.
Yeah.
The least popular was...
episode 1.
Episode 2.
Oh, okay.
Attack of the Clones.
Okay. This big old love story.
Was the least popular. Yeah. Luke Skywalker was the most popular character.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, 93% rated him favorably.
Great.
The least popular?
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
Come on.
With a 37% disapproval rating.
There's just no way he can be cool, I guess. I mean, it's sad, but there's no way anybody's gonna like him ever.
Yeah, I don't know. And finally, according to 834 respondents, what do you think? Oh man, let's see. How do I question this to you? Okay, so according to 834 respondents, did they favor more or less towards Han shooting first?
Yeah, more towards Han shooting first. Is that what you're asking? Right? Whether or not...
Yeah, is it more towards Han shooting first or Han shooting second?
Han shooting first.
Yeah, okay. According to 834 respondents, Han shot first by a margin of 15 points. 39% of people said Han, while 24% said Greedo.
I mean, it seems to be a gimmick, a fad now. It's like, oh yeah, I'll say Han shot first because it's cool. Those hipsters.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I was the first one. No, I'm just kidding.
And it says it ends with hilariously 37% chose I don't understand this question.
Yeah, exactly.
Han shot first.
Yeah.
What?
Who
shot first?
My wife Sarah always asks me that too. It's hilarious. Like I had to sit and explain it one time because she was curious as the whole like, T-shirts. Like, why does it say Han shot first? I don't know about that. I was like, well, here, let me tell you about it. Let me explain the controversy. It was fun.
Yeah, that's fun. So that's really comic news. Besides, like you mentioned before the show started, the Star Wars trade.
Yeah,
the trade for Star Wars comic is now out. It's on iTunes as well. Okay, so what else do we get? We didn't really get any news from the books.
No, I mean there was that sampler we talked about last week. It's just I see like that's being more advertised now actually, and that's
and again we'll remind you that I think it's September 5th that the Star Wars A New Dawn comes out. Mm-hmm. So now that we know, we have the entire month of September to read it.
Yeah.
Before the
I don't have to pull an all-nighter
before Rebels
to read. Yeah.
Yes, before debuts on October.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, man, I might have to slam that down like in a week.
Yeah.
Before the.
Yeah.
But we still haven't got confirmation on when. I mean, is that? Are you thinking that means that that 1 hour debut is in October? Because I kind of thought that they were going to release that first.
Yeah.
And
it seemed like it would have been in the summer. I don't know, or like towards the end of summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who can say?
Who can say? All right, so what else? Anything else?
Well, just quick couple things in the video game department. Not much, but just the creators for the Battlefront game were interviewed, and basically just the only highlight I'll say is one of the creators mentioned that they're working on Battlefront, and their goal is to make it the greatest Star Wars game ever. Which, why wouldn't you? But they're just they're working very hard to making it the best Star Wars game ever created, and it is coming out 2015.
Wow!
So we still got a while. They're trying to coincide it with
yeah.
the movie, I suppose, Episode 7, and it'll be a canon video game, which is interesting, very cool. And there's that, and then I forgot to mention, and I don't know if this goes along with a spin-off or a solo film news or Episode 7 news, I don't know, but there was a Reddit Q&A last week of this, I'm trying to find this guy's name, with Jonathan Rinsler, who is, what does he have to do? He's part of Lucasfilm. Let me find, he's part of Lucas Licensing. So Jonathan Rinsler, part of Lucas Licensing, the Reddit Q&A, and someone asked him about Boba Fett, whether or not this man believed Boba Fett was alive or dead after Episode 6. Jonathan Rinsler responded that he is actually. Let me see. Let me read the question. The question is, Jonathan, in your mind, does Boba Fett escape the Sarlacc pit? Jonathan Rinsler responds, yes, he does. And this is a direct quote. I have been in meetings with George where he confirms that Fett survived. If it comes from George, then it's true. End quote. I don't know if you heard about this. It's not. It's. I mean,
not.
It kind of got popular on the news circuits like very quickly, then died away for some reason. But and it looks like there actually might be. Yeah, there's. Yeah, so he's a part of Lucas Licensing. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's had meetings and talked to George Lucas about this, and he says that he's alive, then at least in George's mind, he's alive. But he's not alive yet, canon-wise, because we haven't seen him alive.
Right.
But, I mean, what do you take from that? I mean, is it possible to see Boba Fett in movies post-Episode 6?
Well, here's the thing: is like we profiled a Sarlacc in one of our episodes,
right?
And by doing that, we've discovered what a Sarlacc actually is, which is this big, massive creature, underneath the sand. So it's just not that like
hole,
just not like a little sack of of that big mouth and right there. I mean, there's a huge creature underneath the sand.
Yeah.
So to me, a guy like Boba Fett that goes in there, I mean, if there's a little bit of room to maneuver, I feel like he could kill this thing.
Yeah.
And get out. So I don't think it's far fetched to think that he did not survive.
Yeah.
And get out of the Sarlacc, because he wasn't like that's the thing is like especially with now when they incorporated the beak in it,
right?
There's no crunching, or anything like that. It's just straight. The thing just straight swallows everything,
right?
Because there's no teeth.
Yeah, and it slowly digests you, like over
correct.
1,000 years or something like that. Like it's so you don't instantly die.
That's right. So I think he can definitely find his way out of there, and I think it'd be surprising to see him in episode 7. But
yeah, maybe episode 8.
Well, I definitely think that there might be some stories
right.
between 6 and 7 that
something there
we can get him in.
That'd be so cool. I've always thought that if not Lucasfilm, but if Disney wanted to really cash in on Star Wars, that they would bring back Boba Fett. Just because he's such a fan favorite. But, thought maybe at least a spin-off with him.
Well, maybe that's the film we get. Maybe we get him, escaping, the beginning is escaping the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
And then that's the movie we get. I mean, because everybody's assuming if he died there that this is going to be a Boba Fett movie would have to be before episode 4.
Yeah.
But, no, we might get an older Boba Fett that survived the Sarlacc pit, which would be cool.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be really weird if we got a solo film that takes place within the original trilogy or like a few years after. That'd be kind of cool if it coincided with those events because, we know the originals were made in the 70s, so they have that older look to it. But if you have a movie taking place in the middle of it or right after, that's, very brand new looking, like 2014 looking, that's just kind of cool, like interesting to have those differences in film quality, but I don't know. Right. It was just a thought. I thought it'd be pretty cool to see that. But yeah, that's how it's all the news. That's it. That's all. Man. We just barfed it out there for you to ingest.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, you just sleep on it and get back to us on it.
That's right. I'm guessing we'll have a ton to talk about hopefully next week after Comic-Con gets done.
Yep.
So check us out there next week on that. All right, so moving on to some trivia. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. All right, got the records up here. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. So this is question 415.
415.
415, which is the Phantom Menace era. No, I'm sorry. This is actually... No, yeah, it is Phantom Menace era right at the end. 415.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Who portrayed Shmi Skywalker?
All right.
Natalie Portman, Sophia Coppola, Keira Knightley, or Pernilla August?
I'm going to go with D. Pernilla August.
And the answer is D. Pernilla August.
Wow. We've been getting some easy ones lately.
Yeah, I know. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, at least we know that. I mean, I like these movie.
I
like the movie ones, not the.
But that made a mistake because you could have easily put in a couple names you didn't know to throw you off. Yeah. Because the other ones are obvious.
Yeah, I mean, Sophia Coppola. I mean, she's not in it, right? She doesn't play a small part anywhere. I
don't think she's in it at all, is she?
I mean, I know
Keira Knightley is one of the handmaidens.
I wonder if she is like a. I feel like I should know this, but
yeah, I don't know why maybe they did put that in there for that.
Let's see.
I know Keira Knightley is one of the handmaidens that takes. She's in episode 1 when they swap out.
It seems like Sophia Coppola was in it. Let's see.
She might have been at
she was a handmaiden. She was one of the young.
Oh, she is one of the handmaidens.
Sophia Coppola. There you go.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Very cool.
Well, there you go. 2 handmaidens and Natalie Portman, and then the only one left was Pernilla August.
Yep.
So, yeah. See, if they would have threw in just like a random name, someone that didn't know who Shmi played by, then I just use process of elimination right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, anything else, Case?
I don't think so. That's all I can think of.
So make sure you check us out at InsideTheForce.com. You can follow us on Twitter at InsideTheForce, Facebook as /InsideTheForce. Of course, now on our website, you can get to us on all of our media outlets that we do the show on. That is on iTunes, of course. And then we are on also Stitcher Radio and TuneIn Radio. You can get those apps on your iPhone devices, your Apple devices, or your on the Google Store and all that stuff. You can get those apps. So check us out. No excuses. Or you can just go to InsideTheForce.com and listen to every episode right there on the website. We've got them all in there. I even did a little reformat of the website so you can get to the episodes right away. It's right there, all right there, stacked up each other. That's all right there. Of course, we're part of the 21 Network, 21network.com. You can get all the latest podcast episodes right there. You can click on the individual podcasts, go to the sites, and subscribe to all of our shows. All right. He's Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I am D. Cottingham21. Thanks for checking us out, and keep coming back. Our Twitter followers are slowly going up. Loving it. You guys are doing great with that. Oh, I'm gonna start a little thing here.
Okay, start it.
Let's start a little thing here.
Start a little thing.
I want to look at something real fast because I think I'm trying to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage, if everybody can, give us a little rating on our places. On iTunes, on Stitcher Radio. You got places to comment there. You got places to comment on TuneIn. Do us a favor, get us more awareness. There's a lot of podcasts, Star Wars podcasts. We really appreciate everybody kind of checking us out, but there's a lot of good ones out there. But the biggest thing is commenting on it is what gets people to the shows.
Right.
So I was gonna kind of look at our reviews. We don't have we have a couple reviews on iTunes, but it's been a while, so hopefully people get on there. We're getting a lot more on our other shows too. So anyway, check us out on iTunes and leave us a little comment if you like listening to us.
If you like the sound of our voices.
I enjoy listening to us.
I enjoy my own voice. I mean, I like the podcast.
Voice.
I mean, what I meant to say.
Yes, I like the podcast too.
Yes.
All right. I'm done ranting.
Okay, great.
Anyway, for Casey Cooley.
You must do what you feel is right, of course. So, there you go.
You must do what you feel is right.
It's a little quote from Obi-Wan, kind of to celebrate him in Rebels, and it's actually a quote I use a lot in real life. You must do what you feel is right, of course. I love it.
You should always do what you feel is right. Unless you think it's
something really bad.
Stealing is right.
Obviously, yes.
Then
there's a lot of there's a lot of holes in it, but it's all from a point of view, as Obi-Wan would say. He's actually a bad influence. Why would you ever listen
Obi-Wan?
to him? Yeah, it's a bad thing. He's got a lot of bad philosophy. Oh well, gosh.
Oh well.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week for the next Inside the Force. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.